It's that time weekend. I'm Chef Nicolas. Let's just jump into it. So I went foraging again this week with my friend Janison and his family to find some new ingredients that I haven't used before. And of course, create a new experience for my clients. What Janison's family and I found were devil buds, red asparagus, which I've never seen in my life, which we didn't actually forage. We just looked at it and went, ooh. Hemlock tips, not the plant, the tree. Which brings me to my headlock lamb, or leg of lamb, with sauteed banana flowers. Oh, this is gonna be good. Now first what I did was I marinated my lamb. First I grabbed hemlock tips and I minced it up. Then what I did was I got tandoori spice and the hemlock tips, mixed it together with some walnut oil, and add a little salt to it, of course. And then I marinated my leg of lamb, piece of it, of course. I took a little pieces of it from the fat because I don't like that much fat. Then I just vacuum packaged the leg of lamb to soak in that flavor because I want that walnut oil to seep in more, you know, and of course, all the other flavors. Then I grabbed banana flour, which this is the first time I've actually used it. I'm aware of this ingredient, I've seen it for a while, I just haven't had the opportunity to use it. So I finally got to use banana flour for the first time. First what I did was I pulled off the leaves and then just grabbed the bananas, well, the flowers, which you want to call it, I suppose. And as you notice, it's actually a little more oxidized. Usually if you get it really fresh, it's going to be white, but I didn't get that opportunity because, well, it's oxidized, which is totally fine. It's going to actually be great for more color, honestly. Now the thing was, when I tasted the banana, it was actually bitter and didn't have much flavor either. So that's when I decided to get a whole banana and I boiled it with some water and then added in muscovado, sugar, and also some salt, and then balanced it out with some lemon juice, and it tasted amazing. Now I set that aside, the banana paste, which I was going to use that as a base for cooking with the flour. But of course not use too much of it because you don't want it to be sweet. Then I grabbed some onions, chopped it up, and, well, I diced it. And then added some peppers as well. A little hot pepper to it. Then I grabbed my lamb, laid it on a sheet tray, and then put it in the oven about 420 degrees so I can get it a lot more colorization. While my lamb was cooking in the oven, what I did was I grabbed a pan and then some olive oil and added my onions and peppers and my banana. Once I started getting it to sweat a little bit, I added in my banana paste, and then, well, it's kind of like a deglaze in a way, and add a little water to it to, you know, loosen it up a little bit. As it got a little flavor to it, I added the tandoori spice to it to add more flavor, and yeah, it turned out really nice. Because, well, it was the first time I ever tried it, and I was like, oh, that's really impressive. I'm really impressed. And of course, at the end, I added some lemon juice to help balance it out a little more, to give a little more freshness to it, you know? Now, one of my clients that requested this was very pleased with this dish, and I was like, sweet, I'm gonna add this to my list. Now, here's my ahi tuna dish. Now, this is a little bit unique situation, and I'll be honest with you, my client wasn't really too happy with this dish, and I'm going to explain why. Here's the thing, guys. I do make mistakes, and I'm not afraid to make mistakes. But the thing is, I'm not afraid to problem solve. So there's that. So that's why I want to share this to you guys. So first, what I did for this dish was I got devil's bud, which I foraged with Janison, and it was a very unique flavor on itself. It actually smelt exactly like itching cream that I've used before. I was like, I know this stuff. I used to use this stuff all the time with, you know, mosquitoes and stuff like that. So I got that, and I got white soy sauce, and then I got some mirin, and I cooked it and boiled it, and then threw it in the blender to, you know, help the flavor go out a little more. I kind of wish I had left it chunky a little bit, because then you get little surprises. You're like, ooh, ooh, ooh. Then what I did was I got garlic spears, and then sliced it in half, then threw it in the oven with some olive oil and salt, and let it cook all the way through. Well, in the meantime, what I did was, and this is where it gets to the part what I did as a mistake. So I got my tuna and I sliced it up. Tuna was fine, but the problem I did was when I plated it up, I just got a spoon of the drizzle sauce that I made, the devil's bud sauce. I put it on top of it instead of actually adding it to a bowl. And so I drizzled it on top of it, and my client tried it, and he was like, too fishy for him. Way too fishy for him. And I was like, oh my god, what did I do wrong? Okay, cool. I have to figure this out. So I took it home, and what I realized was it's not enough flavor to this as compared to other ingredients that you usually see traditionally with ahi tuna. So I had to let it marinate in a bowl for a little bit until the flavor would come through and it wouldn't be as fishy. that was the problem. So that's what I did wrong. Whoopsie daisy. And don't forget that adding other citric acids to it semi-cooks it a little bit, so it makes it a little more flavorful, of course, as well. Go figure. So now you know what I did wrong. So if you guys ever do this in the future and you decide to use devil's bud and you do the exact same thing as I do, make sure that you put it into a bowl and you let it sit in for a little bit so it absorbs a little more flavor and not just throw it on top like I did, because of course you will have customers, or you serve it to your friends or family and they might not like it, you know? It happens, you know? Now for my favorite dish this week. And I know, I usually do that first, but the other ones had a lot more ingredients. And this one's very simple. This one is turkey patty, and one of my clients requested this, so of course I wanted to make it. Now this was a very lean patty. It didn't have a lot of meat because I used a lot of veggies, and this is what I did. I got shredded carrot, kohlrabi, then I got golden beet, and I threw that in the shredder as well, but I blanched it so it wouldn't oxidize in color, because I have done that in the past and it did oxidize. So there's that. Then after that, I mixed it in with, the turkey, because at this point I've had all my vegetables in there. I added sitar to it, seasoned it, took a little piece of it, cooked it in the pan to see if it was seasoned correctly, and it was delicious. No, really, it was really good. My client was super happy, like, man, these are really good. I can't wait to have these again. That's right. Thank you, veggies. That is how you season food a lot of times. Use your veggies. And it's a way of sneaking in some veggies that people might not even like. They're like, these are really good. How many veggies are in this? 4. No, wait. Yeah, 4. There's another thing I use in there. It's sort of like a garlic taste to it. It's these garlic leaves, but they're not garlic leaves. It's called this. Grabbed my carrots. I shredded a little extra for it so it can be a little veggie inside, of course. And I decided to form my turkey patties. Form them, seared them, and then finished them in the oven. While that was cooking in the oven, I got my shredded carrots, some corn and peas, and some onions, of course, and just sauteed them all together and just cooked it really quickly, and of course add a little more sitar to it and season it with salt. It tasted great. And then I just seasoned it. And again, like I said, my client was super happy with this dish, and I was too, definitely. I did do another dish. I should mention, guys, I create a lot more recipes than you think. A lot of recipes, not just 4. It's just I can't record and write all this down to put it all together into these videos. It's kind of too much work, so I just pick the best ones and then just give it to you guys. Now for my last dish. This one's an easy one. I grabbed, well, it's a mixed green guava salad, of course. You didn't know, did you? Does that even make any sense? It doesn't matter. Alright, so what I did was I grabbed guava and I took out the seeds and then I boiled them with some vinegar and then turned into a dressing. So I got that, and what I had left over with the guava, because it was way too much guava, I actually sliced them in little pieces and I added it into a vinegar and pickled them. And I was like, man, these are pretty good. Not gonna lie. Delicious. Then I got this cheese, which I cannot pronounce worth my life. Here you go. And I diced that up. And then what I did was I grabbed a bowl, mixed in the guava dressing with some mixed greens, and then I plated it up with the cheese and the pickled guava. Yeah, that was it, pretty much. Yeah. Delicious. Alright guys, you know the drill. I'm Chef Nicolas. Don't forget to click the like button if you like this video. And of course, if you want to follow us, you can click the icon up here if you're on mobile, or if you're on the desktop, you can click over here, which will take you to our page. And we post weekly videos every Wednesday telling you what we made for our clients. And of course, if you want to see any extra snippets, we do have a website called informationcuisine.com, which will have a little more insights, because I can't give you everything on information when I say it in video, because there's so much information to just say out loud. So I leave a little notes in there, little secret notes if you're curious about that. And of course, you want to follow me on my goofy self on my Instagram, you can just, well, see my Instagram, @NicolasGanea. Alright guys, thanks for watching guys. I'll see you next week, and peace. Have a good one.